Hey folks, Dave here, and after taking a few days off to help Joel film some for his movie over the last weekend, I am back here with more American Republic. The current year of our kind of roleplay series here is 1814. At this time, we still have no war with Great Britain yet, thankfully. We have a new Protestant missionary in our new College of Divinity here in Michigan. I'm going to send him up to Montreal, which should be predominantly Catholic. No, it's actually 88% Protestant. That's surprising. What else is new here in 1814? The winter of 1814. We have some new buildings. Let's see. New roads. Alright, our school here in Raleigh, in the Carolinas, is finally good to go. Where are you? There you are. Let's go ahead and move right from a school to a college and really get that research cranking out. Oh wow, we don't have carcass shot yet. That is definitely my bad. And our second new college here in Pennsylvania is also good to go. It's currently a school upgrade to college. And we'll have them research, let's see. We'll do machine tools. Recruitment report. Nice. Tons and tons of new troops. And I believe that all these guys are heading west. We have some more here in the Cherokee territory. 12-pounder cannon and line infantry.
And forward. By the left. March. Ready.
And our army with General Virgil here is finally replenished. We're going to strike out for Texas as soon as possible. Some of you guys have been asking about my policy for the Plains Indians, the Plains Nations out here in the West, and I think for right now I'm just going to maintain a good relationship with them. I don't really need to conquer them right now. We can't really expand much further west than Louisiana with this map, and it's really just not worth the march right now. I'm sure that we have some more troops out here somewhere. Not sure where though. We also need to upgrade our magistrate here in Virginia as we work towards getting that military barracks set up to get those unique units. And Virginia's population is rapidly heading back towards Protestant, now that we've gotten rid of that pesky Catholic missionary.
At the ready.
Once this army is good to go in Louisiana, that should really increase the speed in which we're going to be able to conquer New Spain down here. I think we still have armies marching towards Panama though. Yep. Sure enough, the Spanish really just don't want to give up. And our troops are pretty battered right now.
Sir. Make ready.
But we have more armies coming up from the south. And these Minutemen need some replenishment. no real need for a commercial base in here in Panama. There's not a whole lot of trade going on. It's not worth at least 5,000 right now. Instead, let's build that commercial basin here in the Carolinas. Alright. Do we have any more farms to upgrade? I'm sure that we have some stuff out here that is a bit behind. Let's build a state house in Boston. And some more troops to head to Louisiana. Just some standard line infantry. And we'll add a 12-pounder howitzer to them. I think we already have quite a few provincial scouts in this army. Yeah, we have 2 there, and then how many more coming?
Yes.
Yeah, 1 more coming. That's plenty of skirmishers. Instead, let's recruit some dragoons and line infantry. On second thought, we really do need more horse. So we'll do dragoons and just a standard regiment of horse. Any more farm upgrades? I think this fur trapper post could be upgraded to a fur exchange. 40 pelts per turn compared to 25. How valuable are pelts? Decent. Not amazing, just decent. Looking at our victory conditions right here, I don't think we're actually going to make the technical objectives for this campaign, because trying to roleplay history, we're not just going to declare war on Great Britain. So I really don't see us maintaining control or taking control of New France and Quebec. It's just not really fitting in with our current timeline. That's really the fun part about this game, though, is that you don't have to follow the objectives. You can make it into your own style of campaign, which is a lot of fun. Instead of doing the fur trapping post this turn, let's do more farms in Florida, and I saw farms here in Pennsylvania as well. That is going to take out the rest of our cash for this turn. It's almost a shame because Panama really needs some better roads. But they're not going to be done in time for us to use them anyway, so I won't bother for now. Looking at the strength of the Spanish army here in Texas, I think we can go ahead and just take them out.
Sir.
We're not going to be able to march within range this turn,
Ready.
but we'll get close. And who knows, they might come to us. Checking on our prestige before we end our turn. We are still woefully behind. We are now beating Russia, though, and France, who I have spared, is about to be overcome as well. I wonder if at some point I could actually declare war on Austria and land in Paris and retake it for France. that would help to mend our relationship, which is still hostile. Before that would happen though, I would probably take out Amsterdam, just because the Dutch have been a huge thorn in our side this entire campaign. And I'm not going to forget all of those continental invasions that they've given us. In fact, if we send an army to Europe, I think the Netherlands are going to be their first stop. For now though, let's end our turn. As I kind of expected, the Spanish have sallied out of Texas and are meeting General Virgio's army on the battlefield. This puts us in a defensive position, which I kind of wanted, so let's do this thing. It looks like we're going to have a foggy battle for Texas, but our armies aren't in a great position. We're behind this gigantic hill here. Our first step is going to be move up. Let's get our line infantry here in the center. We'll do Pennsylvania Rifles, the Legion of the USA, and line infantry here in the center. Let's actually put those line infantry right in the center of that formation. There we go. What's next? We'll do line infantry, Marines, and Grenadiers on the right flank. Perfect. Marines right there on the far right. I may put one more unit of infantry right in the center of there, though. Who do we have left? Yeah, we'll just do some standard line infantry. And Marines there on the end. Tell you what, we'll actually put them out a bit further. That leaves us with line infantry, Rangers, and the Legion of the USA. Line infantry and Rangers here. And they'll kind of fill in front of our howitzers once we move up. And Legion and line infantry here on the far left, I think, on the roadway. That is some pretty sharp Legion uniforms right there. And to wrap things up for our deployment, General in the back, regiment of horse and provincial cavalry. I'll say the right flank. That's some room to maneuver out here. And our last regiment of horse here on the far left. As soon as we deploy, we're going to want to move up. So, let's get that whole line there in a row, minus our cavalry. I'm just going to have my howitzers deploy here and fire on that cavalry. I'm going to have to up the contrast on this footage so that you guys can see through all this fog. And their cannons start early. Making a very early charge here. We have to break it. Ah, they just got to our 12-pounder, of course. And with that, we have lost one of our 12-pounders. Not a good way to start things at all. Well, at least we have broken their infantry quite quickly. They completely wiped out that 12-pounder cannon. We have managed to get their militia, 300 of them, alone out here in the wilderness behind their lines. I'm just going to have my cavalry charge right into this militia. Initial losses of 4, but that's going to end them pretty quickly, I think. Go ahead and engage with canister shots. And engage this militia with grenades. Wow, that's a bloodbath. Our infantry are definitely mopping up here in the center. despite all of these desperate charges. Let's wrap around them quickly with our right flank. We're going to have them run. And we'll have the cavalry chase down the ones trying to retreat. Keep that canister shot coming. Oh look, the militia's back. Some of these units here in the center have been taking a lot of damage. This line infantry is at over half losses. Almost the same for the 1st Pennsylvania Rifles. Grenadiers engage with rifles. And here comes the flank. No quarter. Let's get in there quickly. Line infantry and who else can make that charge? Both line infantry. Charge those grenadiers. Line infantry fall back and take out this regiment of foot that caused us so much trouble here in the center. You know what? General Virgo, charge them as well. We really don't want these line infantry getting away. I'm going to have these grenadiers move in with grenades. Line infantry. Fall back here. Close the noose. And with that we have won, but taken severe losses along the way. Let's not let these guys escape. Talk about a wild battle here in the center. We actually completely lost that 12-pounder almost immediately. Then, although we maintained control of this hillside, the Spanish just faced off right here in the center of our lines, and despite being flanked on both sides, they really held out for a long, long time. Here are the final battle stats. They deployed 3,100, we deployed 2,800, they lost 2,200, but we still lost about 850. I'm going to guess that we have some rank ups. Oh yeah. Provincial Cavalry at 253. And ranking up once. What else do we have for kills? Grenadiers at 170. Probably their actual grenades there too. Line Infantry ranking up from 1 to 4 with 201 kills. A very, very intense fight. And they still control Texas. And at last, we are in the summer of 1815. The Spanish are raiding our trade route. Quite a few new traits for our rakes, our generals, I think, and our preachers. Plenty of new recruitment. And a lot of new buildings. Our income went up by quite a lot too. Let's get this turn started here in Texas once again with replenishment. And you know what? I'm going to have this army actually fall back to replenish because they took just severe losses. I'm also going to take that 12-pounder cannon from our new army in Louisiana and have it join up with them. We'll also increase some plantations over here in the west. Sugar warehouse. Tobacco warehouse. Some farms for Upper Louisiana. Oh, and some low-level farms for the Cherokee Territory. I'll bring this cavalry south to Lower Louisiana.
Sir. Forward. March.
And recruit one more unit of horse and a second cannon. And we still have guys coming west, so that should wrap up the recruitment for that army. I'm actually going to split off one unit of Marines to station themselves in Williamsburg. That leaves us with 1,100 gold. Plenty of upgrade options, but what's the best bang for our buck? We'll do some farms here in the Algonquin Territory. And I will hold on to some money for a bit longer. I might do some ship recruitment here shortly, though. more provincial scouts as well. Let's add them to Williamsburg.
More orders?
Now down here in Panama, we have a small Spanish army, mostly militia, still coming up on Panama's borders here. General Albertson is not within range to reinforce, so we're going to have to actually take this small army on with General... who is this? Ah, General Green, who is now how old? 73. I'm gonna miss this old guy when he's gone. This should be a pretty light skirmish, but to minimize our losses, I'm going to go ahead and play this one out myself. Given that we do outnumber them by quite a lot, let's mix up our deployment just a bit. I'm going to keep our puckle guns mobile and put them right in the center as quickly as possible. Let's flank them with Republican Guard, Marion's Rangers, and 2 units of US Marines. I'm going to put that gun right here on top of this hill as quickly as possible. 12-pounder cannons. I want you up there next to them, actually. You're going to be flanked by Grenadiers. No. Grenadiers need to be on our flanks. Line Infantry and Republican Guard. Line Infantry here on the right flank. Get on there. There we go. And I'll deploy this howitzer immediately on the back of our lines right here with explosive shells. I want to make a kind of quick reaction force of Marines, Grenadiers, Long Riflemen, and Line Infantry. They're going to come from the left flank here as group number 1. Double line standard. Triple line standard. Is there any way to get... I don't see a formation to get our skirmishers up front, unfortunately. So single line it is. That's just way too much micromanagement to do manually. Oh, we actually need to add some Marines to that group. Okay. Move that extra line infantry back. And you, both just standard line infantry here on the right flank. Regiments of Horse and Philadelphia Light also on the right flank. I want to make the right flank my mobile flank, if you will. And a regiment of Horse to back up these guys on the left. Ah, and the Spanish are actually going to advance. Really? Well then. I was definitely not expecting that. Alright guys, hold the line here, I guess. Our quick reaction force will definitely still move left, though. Puckle guns deploy. Bowmen here on our right flank. Taking some pretty severe musket fire though. They shouldn't last too long. Sheldon's Light Dragoons, get in here and attack this militia before they can get away. Philadelphia Light Cavalry, take out those annoying archers. And Regiment of Horse, come join the mop-up. We do need to watch out for these palisades, I believe they're called. Now we can finally advance here on the right flank. A lot of retreating all across the map pretty quickly here. Dragoons, get back here and engage this militia. And Regiment of Horse, catch up and engage this regiment of militia. We're going to get nice and close here with this last militia. Let's run them down and call it a battle. We deployed 2,500, only lost 142. They deployed 1,000 and lost almost all of them. No real standouts for kills, a pretty good battle overall. That victory should open the floodgates for an attack on Guatemala and New Spain here from the south. Let's replenish for 1,200.
Ready for order.
And we can't really march much further this turn. With everything replenishing, it's looking pretty good over here. But we're going to have to wait one more turn before we advance here in Texas.
Yes.
No, actually 2 more turns because of replenishment. I'm hoping to leapfrog General Albertson here with General Virgo to keep the attack going strong against Spain. And I want to conquer all of their colonies. I'm kind of curious to find out at this point if my current line of thought is going to work. I'm not super worried about these actual campaign victory conditions. I'm playing this kind of my own way, but at the same time, if I can find a diplomatic way to avoid war with Great Britain and maybe trade all of these Spanish colonies for Montreal and Upper Canada, I'll give it a shot and see if it works. That would satisfy the victory condition, and I could give away the territory at some later point, maybe to France. Outside of that, we're pretty close to the actual victory conditions. New Mexico is going to fall within, I'd say, 6 to 7 turns. Texas will fall within 2 turns. And that just leaves New France. And we do still have 10 years to meet those goals. If it comes down to war, though, I don't see us taking it because, I mean, that is just a stupid amount of forces right there. I also want to see what is ahead of me down here in New Spain. I'm going to send this navy up to Guatemala to see what's going on.
Ship's orders.
There's one more ragtag army heading south, already injured by the looks of their flag. But things down here in the south look very, very secure for sure. Some of you guys noticed some European forces heading off in some navies. I think it was Spain and maybe the Dutch again. I think Austria too had some armies on some navies heading west. And we're going to have to watch out for those for sure. I'm pretty confident though that with the amount of forces that we now have occupying the continental US that we're going to be pretty safe. We have a very large, if inexperienced, army here in the Carolinas, a good-sized defensive force here in Williamsburg, a massive experienced army in Pennsylvania, defensive forces in Boston as well. I also have our Navy stationed all the way down the coast now. 3rd rates, 4th rates, a rocket ship here and there. That should be enough to ensure that any opposing navies can't just run right into one of our ports again and land an army. We'll get this farm going in the Carolinas. We are approaching the end of our upgrade options for farms, but that is a very good thing. Plantation-wise, I'm not seeing much. I guess for this last bit of gold, we'll do one more farm there. And a national observatory in Boston. I'm hoping that now that we have multiple schools, we'll get some more gentlemen going to help with that research. Tons and tons of research just cranking away right now. 1,200 gold left. Our army is lacking in cannons and line infantry. Well, we're not going to give them outdated cannons. Let's check on Philadelphia. 12-pounder and some colonial light infantry. There we go. Only 64 gold left. I think we have a pretty solid plan in place here. I keep talking on and off about sending navies and armies to Europe, and we may have the ability to do that here shortly, but I do want to focus on the continental US first, and maybe we can actually meet those victory objectives and technically beat the campaign. Even though I'm not going to consider that my objectives, my personal objectives for this campaign, it would be kind of cool just to see them met. Thanks for following along, guys. I hope you're still enjoying the series, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.